We continue learning the halachos of Mayim Achronim. We're in the middle of Simin Mem Dalid, and we pick it up from Sif Hey. Says the Kitzur, Afilu la'achal rakzayis pas, sarich levarich birchas hamazon. Once you have a kazayis, you have to bench birchas hamazon. We know 26 points out that avada daraisa, it's only v'chalta v'savata, if you're seveya b'midrabanan, even on a kazayis. But as we pointed out, you run into the tilas yadayim issues in such a scenario, as we saw in Simin Mem Gimel, that you want to make sure really to have a kibeya. One should not say berachas hamazon standing, nor while walking elamiyushav sitting. Even if you're walking on your house while you're eating, or you're sitting or reclining, when you need to make berachas hamazon, be yiser to have real kavanah when you bench. You should not be reclining. You should derek gaiva. It's like gaiva eliyeshiv. You should sit. Now says the Kitzur, v'yalbish malbish ha'elyon. Now this is a line that the Kitzur deviates from the words of the Mishnah Berurah. The Kitzur over here says that by benching you should wear a jacket, and you should wear a hat. Why? Shemar shemayim alav. So you have the fear of heaven upon you. The Ira Kavana and Sherel's Kavana. Now the reason why I say it's different than the Mishnah Berurah, because the Mishnah Berurah is a very interesting line in which he says you just wear a hat. He doesn't mention a jacket. Other areas, by davening or whatnot, he does mention the jacket. So the Kitzur over here learns it's all the same. It's hat and jacket, it's there covered. There are those who want to say that here it's different. It's not like Shemona Esrei. The imamish have to be dressed, but rather it's a vardin kavana. So you put on a hat, it gives you extra kavana. But hat and jacket, definitely something when you bench. We continue with Ziv Zayin. Amen. Those who listen to me, Misham Disa b'medrash, Yishemechad mispal davar m'varech li Yisrael. And you hear someone davening, you're saying a bracha, giving someone else a bracha. Afilu b'lei askaras Hashem. Ayiv lanois amen. Siv ches avar v'shalom l'varech birchas hamazon. If one delayed from benching. Now, how long? Very important, says the Kitzur. Ad shira equal amount of time that your food is digested, which is how long? So we all think 72 minutes, right? Let's wait. Not so fast. You're hungry again. Continues the Kitzur. Yesh the Shayikal Shava Chaimish 72 minutes. Mikol Makav Sudas Kedoilois. Lebaamim Yoshev in Achil Berchas Hamazon Yoshev Mizvan Zeh. You wait more than that between the eating and the benching. V'ainim Deshegam. Beintayim Baiskim B'shtiyav Har Parais. Mikol Makav Manachash Lo Yoshais Harbe. The appropriate thing is not to wait too long. Now, note 32 points out that if you were not full, and therefore you began feeling hungry right away, therefore it's not an indicator. So basically, benching is the minimum amount of time. But the maximum, if you ate a lot and you're still full 90 minutes later, you'll still be allowed to bench. But of course, l'chatchila is to bench right away. Siv Tes. If someone transgressed, and he left this place before saying b'rachas hamazon. Wherever you are now, there is some bread. The best is yeichal sham. You should eat it there. It does not need to say b'rachas hamazon on the bread. And he should bench there. So again, if you're in a location where you did not eat, what's l'chatchila? Have a little bit of bread. So you should go back to where you ate. Note 36 points out that if you have no choice, then you messed up. You're allowed to bench where you are, but that's not the lechatchila. Says the Kitzur, let's say you're so far away, and you got to be worried that by the time you get back, it's going to be 72 minutes. It's going to be longer. You're not going to be hungry. You're not going to be full anymore. Then you have no choice. bench in the place you are now. Siv Yod v'shav shechabo yer shchaj yed v'chol ha'mayid armin techila ritzei, and then v'achar yal v'yavah. Nei sheshabbos hadim hakayim u'kudosh yosem mehem, therefore Shabbos comes first. Siv Yod alim yishachach, someone forgot. V'nistabek, and he's not sure, loy, in bir b'rchas hamazon loy. So him who say if you're hungry, does b'rchas hamazon de'oraisa. So what's the klal? Sofik de'oraisa l'chomra. Sarach levarach pam shenis. But if not, if you're not hungry and it's only derabanan, then it would be safek lekula. V'chenim near the v'shein, if he dozed off, emzi b'rchas hamazon, he shakes in yodeich and pasuk, when he woke up, he wasn't sure what you're up to. Sarach lachza the rosh b'rchas hamazon. V'isha shenisavke b'rcha eloi. This is not have to bench another time. No, 44 points out that avada they have a chiyuv. However, it's unclear whether it's a deraisa derabanan, and that's why she would not bench again. Sivya Beis Tabish Shabbos and Tabish you messed up lo Amaritze. I beyond Tav Lamri Alvi. So this is because just the shame you remember the shame of the bracha and Abrachat Bרכת Hashem B'nei Yishlayim. Omer Shamritze Alvi Avai Bachachu B'nei, then go back to B'nei. Avalim Noi Niska. However, if you did not become aware, Lachar Lisker is a shame. You already said Bרכת Hashem. Misayim is Abacha B'nei Racham Shlayim Amen. You're Misayim the brach. Ve'omer Sham B'Shabbos. Then if it's Shabbos, I didn't say Rasei, you should say Rasei. What should he say? Again, this is only if you remember right there, not the most common case, right there before you start the next bracha, you say Bרכת Hashem L'Kidam Al-Chalam. She'nosa Shabbos L'Menucha L'Ama Yisrael B'Avla Ois U'Lebres Bרכת Hashem Mekadesh Shabbos. V'yantev Omer Sham Bרכת Hashem L'Kidam Al-Chalam. She'nosa Yom Tov L'Ama Yisrael Sot Simcha Yoim Chayk Pleni Hazeh Bרכת Hashem Mekadesh Al-Vazmanim. You have both. Then I'm Baruch Hashem G'nei Melech Asher Nasser Rosa Menuchal Am Yisrael Ba'ava Leis Lebres Yom Tovim L'Sas L'Simcha Seim Chag Pleniza Baruch Hashem Mekadosh Shabbos Yisrael B'Hazmanim. But v'mamer Seim Lam Yavai Omer K'mo B'Yontel Levad v'Omer Yavai L'Ritzei Omer K'mo Shabbos Levad. But again, that's only if you remember before you start the next bracha, not the most common case. Says if you gimel on with this, we conclude. If you don't remember, bracha shel acharashia, Bרכת Hashem G'nei Melech Avinu, Filo Merak, Baruch Belvad, Shacharach Shel Tanya, Shavein Loitakana, B'Bרכת Hashem Nasin, you can't see the bracha. Ulachet. The first two meals of Shabbos Yontav not shall show this. You got to go back to the Rosh B'rchas hamazon. K'shlomer atayim Bרכת Hashem. Then you say, "I'm not going to chulkecha." K'dei shel yelevatal. V'achar kach l'chaz the Rosh B'rchas hamazon. Avos to the shlish. Shafilu b'Shabbos ein mochiv lechol pas tafka. Avad is a chiv shall show this boat. You could be yoytze zayin the chiv without bread. Mikol shkei b'yontiv, and certainly in Yontiv B'rchas hamazon nechavis halav. L'chein eino chayzel roish ele goymer kach b'rchas hamazon avle nizkar b'makshech l'taken b'rchas asher nasan, like we learned before mechiv l'taken filu b'kama sudai she'achal. So we see that if you forgot during the first two meals, you indeed have to go back for the start of the next bracha. We'll pick it up from here b'siyata dishmaya.